Do me a favor, put one in the chat if you could hear me. Other than that, peace and bliss to you. And I hope you have a wonderful day, afternoon, night. Now I'm just sipping on my coffee. And I just want to come on really quickly and talk about condemnation. It's being placed on my mouth to talk about it since it's so many going through it. For those that would like to donate to the eviction fund, my Cash App is $PEKA69. Once again, that's $PEKA69. And the reason why this is taking place is a nationwide paradigm shift. This is one of the effects of a paradigm shift. Now, some may argue and say it's mismanagement of money. However, I did pretty good considering with what I had to deal with. So for those that feel like they're going through it now, my advice is to not spend frivolously on things that you don't need, unless guided by THEEEGOD to do so. Because if he wants you to spend frivolously on something, it is for a reason. So I know that there is 2 currently showing up. Welcome to the live. Can you put one in the chat so I know you can hear me? We want to get a dialogue going on here. Don't be scared. Go ahead and put it in the air where it's fair. The reason why I wanted to talk about condemnation is because this is what's happening to a multitude of individuals because of their economic status. It is very important for those not to cast stones at others because in the blink of an eye, it could happen to you. I am Kanasifi, what you call Constantine. I know who you are. You are here for condemnation, and this is the reason why you came in. You want to throw it in someone's face that they are homeless, which I don't understand why. Isikini Sivio. We know that you are Edward, and when you come in here, we read your energy. Etha is an archangel. What would make you think that you could do a foe on her, which is a spell? You believe that you are the reason why she is homeless, and we're telling you that you are not. We want you to share the life like you did to Doctors with No Borders. We want you to do that again. Because what happened when you did it the last time, the Hasifikio put you in a portal. The reason why this particular group is not associated with this platform, however, I know it because I was picking it up spiritually. And when I put it in, I got a Sangoma. I didn't get any other color group. He's what popped up first because that is what they God wanted you to see. So y'all better be mindful. Y'all go into these groups and you think you're gonna hire a Baba, a Sangoma, a high priestess to do work on me. And if they're skilled and they know their craft, they're not going to do it because they already know that they can't. It will cause condemnation on them to do a Sifikio on an angel. Some of you are warped. You are what they call a thetheatic. Suki now. Now, for those of you that come in and you don't want no mess, greetings to everyone in the chat right now. I know I see my member. I'm just gonna say C. I'm not gonna say your name. Greetings to all of you. The reason why it's important for me to speak every day is for those that have been praying, because I see visions. I see visions of all kind of things. When a certain person prays for me, I see what you all refer to as stigmata. And so I know that there's people that know that I am who I am, but they pray for me, and I appreciate it. So it's important for you to understand that I am well. For those that can donate, please do. If you cannot, it's not a big thing because my walk is my walk. I walk with purpose and intention. So it's not me walking sporadically and not feeling like something's going to come from it. When I talked about homelessness yesterday, it is because that is what I seen. I haven't been in a situation where I had to go through this type of pilgrimage since I was in my early 20s. So, for me to see it at this level, it is great. It's like, uh, a lot of families, a lot of brokenness, but still togetherness. You can find some happy people in some dire situations. If someone were to ask me were I happy in my old home, I would say I was happy to have a roof over my head. But as far as the way I felt there, it didn't feel like home. So it's important for people when they lay their head someplace for them to feel like it's home, if y'all understand what I'm saying. I appreciate you too. I know that they are appreciated because it gives you a one-on-one dialogue with me without the cards. So for those that seen the last video where I talked about the tarot card readings and the issue that was coming up there, for right now, that's going to be the style. Now it could be changed. It could change periodically, but for right now, that's going to be the style. So bear with me. This is me attempting to get the readings out for these new people. So some of you, you're going to notice that these are new people. Yes, they need peace and uplifting. That's what I like to do. You know, when I first started this platform, I wanted to smile, laugh, make everyone laugh through the struggle. My intentions were to inform people on their twin flames, their love affairs, their children, um, their work situation, their pilgrimages, and that was my intentions. Okay, to bring the truth, even if it made someone cry, but with laughter. This is my personality. I'm like this, you know, if you were to meet me, even in this situation, if it's on my heart to make someone smile, I'm going to make them smile. And so this is just y'all getting me when I'm able to talk like this. When I'm working, I'm working. Well, the thing is, what you all are going to notice is when I say generational seed breaker, okay, CURSC, a lot of times, uh, our condemnation comes from that. There's different levels to breaking these type of seeds. Now, I have to watch my words because I don't know where this is going to be placed. So, you could have someone in your family, a sibling specifically, that could be breaking a poverty seed. There could be another breaking one pertaining to education. Another could be breaking one pertaining to children, marriage. So it's not solely placed on one person. But when you are an elect one, such as myself, it's different, okay? Because our lifestyle was different. We were considered the black sheep. So a lot of times black sheeps are the ones that are looked down upon. They're condemned for their poor choices in the beginning, but the others don't share or acknowledge their poor choices. Maybe they did something similar to you and they just didn't ever get caught. You know, a lot of times people have the persona of being perfect, and they don't want others to see them in their unperfectness. So, you know, when you're a black sheep, you tend to not care about that. You have to learn that having your nails done every 2 weeks is not that important. Putting eyelashes on or packing foundation on every day is not that important. If you want someone with substance, you have to open up your mouth and have a dialogue. This is what you start to notice as you get older. When you're in your 20s, in your 30s, and sometimes in your 40s, it's all about the outside exterior. But as you get older, you know that it's more than that. You want someone that is for the long haul, not someone that is quick to falter. Their knees will shake in the midst of adversity. You don't want someone like that. You want someone that can adapt and that's not going to check out on you mentally, spiritually, and physically. So these are the type of relationships that I want to pick up on and guide you towards. And hopefully the God, TheeEgod, will allow me to get those type of relationships, because what I feel to be true is when I pick up on those type of relationships, it's one and done. There was a period where I had to tell people to not watch me. I know that's hard. But these would be the people that were stuck in the twin flame journey. So I hope they're doing well. When I would say things like let it go, you know, let them go, you know, I really meant that, because for some it was so detrimental to them. And I can understand, because there's soul ties there, there's seas, you know, hexes, all type of stuff there that makes your life hard. So when I started saying, tell them, tell it out loud, it's reversed, then that means it's on the person that wishes it to you. And that's me granting you that, because someone feels like if they come in here to disturb this peaceful life, that they'll somehow get some energy. So if you feel the shift, just say it's reversed, and don't let it move you in any kind of way that'll have you upset. We're not on that. We're not on anger here. For those of you that are experiencing homelessness or you're in the midst of a transition, know that I'm right here with you. You know, you start learning things about people when you go through things as drastic like this. You start thinking about the times where when they called you, they needed you, or you start saying things like, I should have did what I wanted to do, you know, and if I knew the outcome was going to be like this, you know, especially when you're somebody like me. So you all need to understand, if you have adult children as well, you know, in your time of need, and they may be doing better than you at that moment, they really show you what it's about. I say that to say, someone in here has an adult child, and when you reach out to them, they don't respond. And it, you know, there's no way, there's no reason. They are having a side conversation. So sometimes I pick it up. So if y'all, it's not stuttering, it's me stopping y'all from hearing what they're saying. It's important for you to not feel guilty. The one that has a adult son that is not helping, you did the best that you could with what you had. And, you know, you need to understand that. Sometimes your journey is meant for you to walk alone. After you see that you did everything that you could for your children and still they want to condemn you, you let it go. There's nothing you could do. You enjoy your life the best to your ability. You know, trauma is something that sticks to your bones. It'll age you. You know, we don't want to condemn others. You can tell when somebody is just evil, not evil, because there is an archangel named Evil, Evil. There's some people that are really evil. And when they seek to to pinpoint someone, put one of those T's on them, they'll go without any. What it is some of them are understanding that they passed in their sleep. And when they were put back in their bodies, they felt like they were the equivalent of archangels, and they're not. What it is there's a certain era where the God said he is not going to destroy his creation. So these are those type of beings. But when they end up in a place where he takes it back, because he does take it back, then they see what it is the noise coming from that galaxy is diminishing, because those type of beings, every time I'm on, they run in here, they start having conversations, and that either don't need to hear this, either don't want to hear nothing that you got to say, either wish I never knew about you. That's the thing about ascension. I was one of those ones that said my life was better without this type of clair. You know, people say they want these gifts. You don't want these gifts. You don't want clairaudience. Clairaudience will disturb your life tremendously. What you want is a closer relationship to God. So when you get mad with him, you won't feel guilt. Because I got a bone to pick with God. Thank God. Thank God is the only God in my eyes. So, you know, the reason why I got a bone to pick with the God is because of my life. You know, this is something that is shared amongst a lot of archangels. We feel like we get the hardest task. Our lives are not ones where, you know, you graduate, you go to college, you buy a home, you get married, yada, yada, yada. Our lives are not like that. We get the messed up family. We get the ones that don't want to support. We get spell work. We get hexes. We get those that are oblivious to the type of work that we do spiritually, however they benefit from it. And so it's like when you're walking around with blinders on. Like me, I broke a lot of stuff off of my mother's side, the matriarch. And I can't go to anyone and say, look, I did this, that, and the third for our lineage, and they understand. All they know is things are transitioning in their life, and they don't like it. But when it comes down to spirituality and generational hexes and things of that sort, they don't realize this is the reason why our lives were so messed up. So when I broke that off of my lineage, I broke it off of a lot of y'all's too. That happened when I ascended. So my energy here on this platform was needed because of what was happening, not just to me, but to other readers when I entered into this platform. There was a whole bunch of spells taking place here. It was very nasty. And so now that the protocol has changed here and everybody is getting used to their new income, we are all understanding that this is not solely our means to eat anymore. And those that have purchased homes and cars and things of that sort, they're going to have to, you know, downsize or something like that. It's not just with YT. This is what happens on a daily. When you have a job and nothing is guaranteed. So what that talks about is, you know, living paycheck to paycheck. You know, I had a conversation with my father one time, and I was talking to him, and he said, you know why Black people can't live together in one home? Because ideally, it would be perfect, right? You all buy a home and you live together. He says, because no one wants to wash the dishes for someone else. And, you know, I was like a teenager when he said that. So it's like, okay, you know, whatever, Dad, you know, but when he said it, it didn't register. But as I got older, I understood wholeheartedly what he meant. When you are in a house with a whole bunch of Black people, they say things like, I didn't do that. That's not my job. I'm not your mama. That's not my child. You know, so it's like, that's the response that you get specifically with sharing a home with black people. Nobody wants to do, don't eat that. You didn't buy that. Where my toilet paper? So when you look at it like that, living with peace means you live by yourself. So it's a sad, ugly truth. If I could take all of the elect ones, all of the underworld, and share a universe with them solely, y'all wouldn't hear from me. Because I know that these are the creme de la creme. When it comes down to the women, the women, the ones that I know are the OGs. Those are the ones that I know. Um, the other ones, they are, they lock in on someone that they know ain't good, and they're going to bulldoze over you to get to that one. And so when they have that demeanor with somebody like me, it leaves a nasty taste in my mouth. So those are the ones that I say I don't want to work with. The ones that they'll bulldoze over you to get to somebody, to one person. I don't like working with those type of elect ones. The women specifically, I get along better with the men. So a lot of times you'll hear the men come through. Mama Wata is one of my favorites. There's no time that Mama Wata could ever open up her mouth and I wouldn't want to channel whatever she's saying. Shakti, all the original Shaktis, because they have a class too. I have channeled Oshun before. These are the ones that y'all know about. Oba is an Asafa. She is not an Orisha. Some of y'all see these decks and you get these names, which is understandable. And the person that created the deck was not aware that these were not Orishas. Not all of them are Orishas. Some of them are demons. So it depends on your belief system. A demon is a class. It's like a class of a human. You know how you have African American, you have Hispanic. Well, within African American and Hispanic per se, you have a type. Okay, the God knows what you were created as. And again, because I can't end this live without informing you that just because I say someone is a demon does not mean that they're evil. Because there is many demons that have helped me when I didn't have anyone else. There was a demon there to help me, and a demon like that had hemoglobin, a heart, eyes, a mind, just like you and I. Okay, these would be the ones that I call guardian angels. So when you hear me say demon, it's very important for you to understand that my work is my work. So if you are listening to me, then you're going to listen to someone else and trying to create a commonality. That's not going to work. For one being, I know he is a deceptive pantheon. Y'all don't understand that, but I know that. And because I know that, I'm telling you that I am not a deceptive pantheon. So when you come to me, you're going to get the truth. What I hope you all do is I hope you all run into good people today. People that want to see you succeed. You don't hear that enough. You know, I don't know. I think I talked about this in a podcast. It happened to me several times. I was in the Bucks line. Y'all know where you get your coffee. I was in the Bucks line, and it started 3 cars up. The front car bought coffee for the car behind. The car in front of me bought coffee for me. And then in turn, I bought coffee for the person behind me. It happened again crossing a toll. It's always 3 to 4 cars. Somebody paid for my toll, and I paid for the person's toll behind me. That's how it happened. The coffee incident happened a few times. When you run into people like that, you know, Um, you have good days. You don't look at the world like it's bad. You know, we have somebody that comes in and they start saying words. This fool just said abomination, which he totally is. It's interesting that he is saying all the words that he is. Everything that is unclean. I wonder who's telling him that. The Fallon? So, anyone have any questions? The thing about walking in someone's shoes is your feet stink after you put on someone else's shoes. So uh, we don't want to, we don't want nobody to walk in our shoes. And because what if their feet stink and your feet don't stink? Now you have stinky feet. So, well, you know, some of them are considered children to the archangels. Do you know that they know your age? When they look at you, they see your soul's age, not your body's age. So it's different. They see the real essence of you. You are someone that has a white, like a ghost mist around your aura. I either, because they may say something else. Moon, when I look at you now, you look like you have Palladian energy. Now, I'm not sure if that is something that you did spiritually to have that. It's not a halo, it's a mist. When you entered before, I did not see that. And this is the reason why you hear the halo, because it's a host of angels talking right now. And so you know that when certain people communicate with me, you're going to hear the halo, or what I call the halo. It's several archangels talking at the same time. How do you get the heaviness energy off? You have to be clean. You have to, for you, you might need to sit in, they're saying herbs. Um, you might need to sit in like a spiritual bath. Sometimes if you consider yourself an empath, it's important for you to not be around people with distorted energy. And NSVJ is worse. And I didn't know much about NSVJs until this year. Because when I looked up the information years ago, it wasn't, I said it's the same thing as an empath, because I am an empath. And I thought being an empath was horrible. With NSVJ, if you ever lived in a house with an NSVJ, you would say something is wrong with them. They're bipolar or something like that, the schizo or something. It is because when they channel, it is like it is them. So it's like you don't want to get into a confrontation with an NSVJ. For you, Cynthia, you need to sit in a spiritual bath, no candles. It's about relaxation. That's how you're going to get that heaviness off. If you are intertwined with someone that always wants you to argue with them, we're getting too old for that. You have to say that. You know, eh, are you a single parent, Cynthia? Because what happens is um, this energy is familiar, and that's why you're here. It's Kenya. Have you registered for any shelters? Don't put it in. Don't put it in the chat. Just yes or no. What she said, yeah. She said yes, for the children, but not for the shelter. What is happening is you need to go someplace where there's resources. For you, we suggest you going to a church. It's important for you to go to a church and get some help. Um, there's a lot of churches that help with those type of services. You would need to have a one-on-one talk with a pastor or a priest to see what is available or um, to see if they can help you. A lot of times, especially with a crisis like we're having nationwide, they'll open up their programs to start servicing more people, you know. So it's important for those of you that do go to church for you to start asking your pastor and your priest about services for homeless. One of the biggest ones in San Francisco was Glide Memorial. I'm not sure if they are still functioning, but that was one of the biggest ones. There's nothing wrong with solitude. Uh, well, what we're going to do is we're going to end this. That is it.